Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? This is Con Or coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 1v1 action on the map of Crossroads. You can tell by the lovely little X in the middle part of the map right here that we do have down here in the south playing the Wehrmacht forces. It is the blue-trunked troops of Luciano. And his opponent, well, he is so famous, apparently he just goes by an emoji. It is Smiling Face playing the UKF up in the north. Taking a quick look at commanders for said Smiley Face, we are going to see Advanced Emplacement Regiment, not that common, but at the same time kind of fun. Special Weapons Regiment, with those tank hunters as well as the crocodile later on. And what I assume is going to be the case, Mobile Assault Regiment with the Land Mattress and the Infiltration Commandos, and that M2 Flamethrower for the Royal Engineers. Now, Luciano is running a fairly, kind of not so much standard, but a fairly interesting group of commanders. Blitzkrieg Doctrine with the command tank. Lightning War with the late game Tiger. And Mobile Defense, that kind of has a middle-of-the-road Puma coming on in, as well as the command tank. But I imagine it's not going to be Mobile Defense. My assumption off the top of my head, especially against any one of these three, really, is probably going to be something along the lines of Lightning War. Of course, now that I say that, watch it be Blitzkrieg. Either way, I expect to see Stukas on the field pretty soon. Now, as opposed for opening build orders, of course, the UKF is going to go for a triple infantry section. It looks like all three of them are building trenches, and this is okay, phew, I thought we were gonna see trenches all over the place, but no, we have sandbags over here, we have trenches back over there to the west, another trench over here as well. So the Brits not looking to lose either the field point or this very, very important strategic point connecting them to all of their material here. And a super quick platoon command post, a 207. Our good old friend, the Smiley Face over here, is not too bad, actually, as terms of UKF players do go. And see, of course, we're going to see, with those Tommies inside that trench system, the Grenadiers realize that discretion is the better part of valor, and they back away. Now, Luciano's decided to open up with a machine gun into 3 Grenadiers, sacrificing a very, very quick upgrade to Battle Phase 1. But this should allow him to control a good particular portion of the field without too much trouble. Indeed, I'm surprised he's not pushing to take either of this position or this position that is now being moved into by the Brits. Smiley Face, in the meantime, is playing actually rather passively. He's got 2 guys sitting in defensive positions. The Royal Engineer coming out at the same time. And I kind of understand why, but I don't like it. Why is because, oh jeez, he's just going to start destroying cover, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to start destroying cover and increase the efficiency, the efficacy, and retreat paths of his own troops. But why? So if you're outnumbered in terms of infantry, especially on a map like Crossroads, which is not really that big, you want to preserve your army as much as possible, and sitting in a slight defensive position requires a greater investment of enemy forces to your own. You can see right here, being in things such as cover, green cover versus yellow cover, we're starting to see the effect of it make themselves known, and the Germans are forced to make a 2-to-1 engagement before, I imagine, these Tommies will be compelled to leave. However, they are forced to go, and they're going to run back to base with a very early mine. Why is there a mine there? That's a strange decision, but I guess you can kind of, rationalize that one way or the other. Grenadiers, in the meantime, have very, very cautiously moved forwards. And with a mortar as well on the field, we could be seeing Luciano's troops able to take this trench down with, let's call it, alacrity. Brits are going to drop their own 3-inch mortar emplacement, though, and so close to the home base, that should be a good position to control pretty much half of the map, their half of the map, if nothing else. It would be kind of fun to see an advanced emplacement regiment, so we could throw down a forward assembly area and just start giving crazy amounts of bonuses to their emplacements. But no, for the time being, it's just going to be your run-of-the-mill, very, very standard mortar emplacement, and he's already got 2 kills. And shelling these grenadiers right here will do more still. But they back away before they are able to come under fire. Eastern side of the map, these Royal Engineers are going to take some incidental rifle fire from grenadiers, but as good as K98s are, the Royal Engineers are a hardy folk. They don't seem to be too concerned about coming under any negative attention. And that's the power of the mortar emplacement, by the way. So you see where it is on the map. He's still able to hit the middle crossroads. And that's a good thing for the Brits. It gives them a safe curtain under which to work. Another bunker's been completed. Okay, the bunker for Luciano's been posted, which means he's, of course, through Battle Phase 1. There's a Life Mechanized Company coming out now. And this machine gun already coming under fire from this mortar emplacement. Geez, between that, these two guys shouldn't be too comfortable where they are. And indeed, those continue to come under fire.
The bunker is now a field hospital. HQ is under attack.
And the MG is pushed away from the garrison, but he's not really retreating, he's not really advancing, he's not really doing a whole lot of anything, really. AEC coming out for Smiley Face is going to be on the field in about 15 seconds or so. And all things considered, he's actually in pretty good shape. He is down a 2-to-1 cap by the Germans, who are up about, what, 20 tickets? 30 tickets right about now? But 7 minutes in, and the Germans are very much behind in terms of total overall army size. Well, tech anyway. And there is, in fact, that Lightning War Doctrine. So if the Germans can hold out long enough, they could see a very late game Tiger. Oof. But once you have those rounds coming in for the mortar emplacement, yes, he's taking some rounds here and there. 4 kills to his name. He's already got 1-star veterancy. And I'm waiting, yep. I'm waiting for that last guy to get picked off. No, just luckily he moves away just barely in time. And I'm surprised that the Brits haven't called in any maxims whatsoever. I mean, the triple Tommy opening is fairly standard, but I'm just surprised it's happened that way. Anyway. Grenadiers up here with a very, very quick upgrade to an LMG that's going to be charging on forwards for what? For a Faust? Be a decent idea, I suppose. But I guess in AEC, that's not really the best idea in the long term. So the Brits have lost a little bit of fuel, but all things considered, they're in very, very good shape. And indeed, you do see them pushing down to the south, taking away the German-controlled expansion VP, though I imagine that will not be captured for very long. What do we have? So the MG's going to set up. The Brits might be able, just barely able, to capture this position. Nope, they're going to retreat before that happens. It's a good decision right there. I'm surprised we haven't seen any repairs happening for this mortar pit, though I suppose that will be happening soon enough once these Royal Engineers make it back to base. Enemy mortar in the meantime, where is he firing right now? He's going looking for the middle part of the field. And a round like that, with rounds like that, who needs anything else than one mortar? Sandbags are going to go down, and with the support of that MG42, the capture of VP just goes back to a very, very simple 1-to-1-to-1. The AEC is very much trying to be a powerful motivator of change on this battlefield, but with the PaK-40 coming out, as well as the internal threats of this Panzerfausts, I don't know really how much he's going to get done. 6 kills in the mortar pit in the meantime. Where is that? I want to see more death and destruction. Yes, we are in fact going to see Advanced Emplacement Regiment, so a forward assembly could be kind of fun. Poster right there. Forward is kind of a very, you know, it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, it could be kind of forward-ish, just not really. But okay, we are going to see these pioneers are very bravely going to hustle into this house, and then realize the kind of folly of that, as well as we're going to see some more mortar rounds coming in. In fact, anywhere in this area, it's going to be bad news bears. See right now, 1 model going down for the pioneers. There's just a bear or 2 left. PaK-40 is close enough though to start taking pot shots at that AEC, and apparently it just seems it's not going quite able to hit.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
The enemy is trying to overrun our HQ.
Alrighty though, so what do we have in the meantime? Well, we have the meeting engagement as we always seem to have. The 3-inch mortar emplacement going to start throwing rounds like crazy down in this area. And why shouldn't he? I mean, that seems like a great idea. But the enemy moves just before the first round can impact. In the meantime, Grenadiers going to sit up here to the north and meet up against the Tommy section once more, but the Tommies just don't seem to want to put up with any of that jazz. They're just kind of sitting here and just being very, very annoying. What's more, these Royal Engineers are throwing down razor wire against these sandbags. I still think you can fit in a squad. Yes, you can. You can still fit a squad in there. But for the time being, the Brits have managed themselves a triple cap on the field, which means that that slight German lead is going to be carved pretty much to naught. Not 100% sure why, but brace was just used up here to the north. Not very sure at all, but already. In the meantime, MG42, and in fact, a lot of the German equipment, very, very diverse field army at the moment for the Germans. But moving a little bit over here to the eastern side of things, and Royal Engineers are going for a cheeky cap behind, taking out this munitions point. It's not going to destroy the German war machine, but it's still going to be quite irritating. And I believe they'll be able to actually decap. Nope, never mind. They're going to retreat before that happens. Probably better in the long term. AEC has been pulled back in the meantime as well, and there's the forward assembly area. So once that comes out, not going to save much in terms of forward positioning, but we'll be able to give the veterancy bonus or the garrison bonus over here, which means, of course, they get to fire like crazy. And this is where the damage potential of the mortar really comes into play. Enemy mortar being posted out over here. I say enemy, of course, the German one. But soon enough, even with a barrage going the other direction. Is that the brace again? Yep, still brace one more time. It's so strange, using brace so much. But the advanced assembly's been completed now. Here comes the repairs on that bad boy. And the AEC seems to not be too concerned about running into this pack, which is a bad idea. Brown just barely comes in shy. And an impact, yep, it might be better for him to continue retreating. Improved fortification being utilized up here on this mortar pit, which means that there's more health available to it. And one good thing about this whole forward assembly area is that well, besides the fact that he gets the garrison bonus for free, is that those Royal Engineers, despite actually losing models here and there from just indirect weapons fire, it's not going to be enough in and of itself to remove the repair capabilities of the British Army. In the north, we are going to see, though, a double decap happening out. A couple of Grenadier squads coming to the north. But Brens are coming out to the field, my friends, and once that happens, it is not going to be a great day for unupgraded German troops. Bren being posted up right now in this half cover right here, and geez, the mortar rounds coming in hot and heavy. And that is a decrued mortar right there, so if the UKF is very, very zippy-dippy fast, they could manage to steal away that mortar, and if nothing else, deny it from the enemy. There they go, they picked that up. They're going to retreat with that. I'm surprised that Smiley Face hasn't decided to actually tech up a little bit more. Instead of going for a second 6-pounder, I think it's a good idea. And maybe that's why this model was placed super early. So see if the P4 goes to the eastern side of the map, he's going to get taken out. Where is that AEC? The AEC is up in the north. He's still prowling around. Probably shouldn't be doing that with the kind of health levels that he does have. But the 6-pounder going to be able to rip off a round or two into the side of this P4. And 6-pounder might his brother 6-pounder, let's call it. Never mind, I thought he was going to be able to get onto the field quickly enough to protect his ally, but no, that is not the case. Although a rear armor hit or two coming out from that mortar pit. And there it is. Might be better to have this guy back up right now. He's going to be able to do so, but at least he's taken out the first defending 6-pounder. It's very, very lucky for him. Munitions cache in the meantime being targeted. interesting decision. Not the first one I would worry about. I'd also be interested to see something like counter battery. Would be kind of fun. But hey, that's kind of cool. That's just me. Mostly because you never ever really ever see counter battery fire. But 15 minutes in, what do we have? 414 to 400. Brits losing a little bit of tickets in the long run. They continue to be surprised that there's no tech up to that company command post. Tech up, my friend, tech up. He's still not teching up. It's bothering me a little bit now. For no other reason than to pick up that amazing, amazing Comet tank. And against really what exists for, you know, the Germans, we should be in really, really good shape. Friends, in the meantime, though, they're going to try to stave off this assault from the Grenadier squad, and should do pretty well, although, oh no, they're actually in good directional cover. I thought perhaps for a moment they were not. But it seems things are well in hand for the UKF. Sandbags, more sandbags being completed, and that's not too surprising there. Just defenses all over the map from both sides. But after a while, the weight of numbers becomes too heavy. Although we are going to see a very, very cheeky captured German mortar being very close to the front. With the AEC right here as well, it could be kind of a good opportunity to punch in here and really do some damage against these Grenadiers. And unfortunately for the Brits, their sandbags have been destroyed. Meanwhile, in the middle part of the map, yep, Bren Tommy's forced away. 6-pounder posting on up. I think a round or two into the rear of that P4. P4 does notice that there's somebody there. But it seems they're going to charge after the AEC and miss it completely. They're going to rip off a round or two, trying to find him through the fog of war. I believe, no, he's not. He's going to sidle around instead, and the P4 wins the game of tag. Might be a better idea to retreat right now and right quick. Tommy's in the southeastern side of the map. In the meantime, you can see up in the upper right-hand corner, have been suppressed and pinned by this MG42. And I had not noticed that there is now a sniper on the field for Luciano. So a super late sniper. And still, Smiley Face has not decided to go for that company command post, which is really starting to make me angry. But 3-inch mortar pit, just starting to turn up those kills again and again, isn't it? I was to say with the assistance of the captured German mortar, but the captured German mortar hasn't done a whole lot now, has he? The 397 to 388, the Brits continue to keep losing a position and then gaining it back, and losing a position and gaining it back. I'm not entirely sure how much fun I like with Yo-Yo Company of Heroes here. Sniper is nice, close, and personal, picking off 2 headshots already. And with those Bren guns super close to LMGs, I think the LMGs actually win out in an immediate kind of close damage fight there. But okay, what do we have in the meantime? Grenadiers continue to charge on forwards. And double Faust hammers into the AEC, but now he should be fairly safe for the next 15-20 seconds or so. And the mortar pit is desperately needing to start dropping rounds in every direction. 13 kills, might be able to take out that last model. No, not quite just yet. Might be better for him still to go after that sniper, but the sniper backs away. So, yep, fire called down upon the sniper squad, the sniper, but not quite able to get any sort of victory from it. But hey, on the plus side, their company command post is finally been posted. Now, the question is, how long will it take Smiley Face to realize he can go for that specialized hammer and go for the Comet? Because the second that he's got that, first of all, he's going to be able to build a Comet as soon as he's done teching up. And as soon as the Comet comes in, he's got nothing to worry about from that P4. Except to worry about when this late game Tiga comes out. But there we go. Finally, the hammer specialization coming out. Could have had this a fair bit of time ago. But, you know, I guess a little bit slower play. Royal Engineers, in the meantime, do have themselves a Piat. Not sure why they're firing it at infantry. I want to turn around and start aiming in this yonder direction, my friend. There we go. And despite being the kind of adorable thing that it is, he keeps overshooting the fact that even though he's aiming at a 45 or 50 ton vehicle.
The ability is ready
Williams, in the meantime, is telling me that I'm completely wrong with the weight of the vehicle, but you know what? That's not focusing on that right now. The last ability has been called open, so the Precision Barrage is available for Smiley Face. The question is whether or not he actually will use it. In the north, we continue to see that the British fortunes are a little bit reversed. With a sniper to cover and this Grenadier squad taking the fuel point, I imagine the British fuel is going to be a little bit dry for the time being. Though a combat tank is finally coming out 20 minutes into this game. It could have come out much quicker than that. But no, Smiley Face apparently wanted this to be a greater challenge than it should be, thereby allowing the Germans to take a bit of a lead in terms of just raw ticketage. In north, in the meantime, though, the AEC is going to support a push by one Tommy squad, and that's going to be enough to force back the Germans. And despite having a sniper in the area to stave off this manner of push, it looks like the Brits are going to recover their lost position very, very easily. Now, what are we waiting for from Smiley Face? Well, one would be kind of fun is to actually see that. That'd be really cool. Two, I'm not looking at the wrong thing. Two, counter battery, even though it's kind of uncommon, but it could be fun to see this mortar right here get picked off. I don't know. In the meantime, though, the Britisher is still very, very slim in terms of just army size, down 9 when compared to Luciano's troops. And these Piat Royal Engineers are some of the bravest sons of puppies I've ever known, throwing rounds from a dilapidated house here, while over in the eastern side this combat tank comes out and claims its first couple of victims. Oh, excuse me, it didn't claim its first couple of victims, but we will see a shot going the wrong direction. Okay, my friend, you need to go for this bad boy. And a coordinated barrage coming down, position barrage, excuse me, fairly quick, and just barely misses the mortars. Does some damage, but not quite enough to pick him off completely. AEC comes on in, he proves he's game, but one more shot could take him out. Never mind, that's one hit right there. Damaged engine, he's going to get burnt up and brewed up. Comet comes in the meantime, though, doesn't quite take out the medium tank. The P4 is still retreating, and this could be the death of that noble German vehicle. However, we're going to see stupid close air support, so damaged engine coming out already. Can he limp away is the question. Well, failing that, he actually has more than enough fuel by the time this guy dies. He should be able to call in a new tank. However, with the Tiger tank on the field, I believe this Comet is not long for this world. 3, 2, 1 more shot. Especially from a rear armor hit. And he is gone. He is not coming back, Jim.
The enemy destroyed a vehicle.
378 to 347, and the Germans are taking this northern position, actually, capping out everything that's important
Our headquarters are under
to the
fire.
good king and everything. Have you noticed that these guys actually repair munitions caches as well? So buildings galore are being repaired no matter what it is, and we're going to see a second 6-pounder coming out into the map because Smiley Face realizes that Tiga tank is going to take a lot of killing.
Anti-tank gun and crew now ready for action.
The unfortunate thing, though, is that despite this Tiga being outnumbered 2-to-1 by these anti-tank guns, there's more than enough infantry to support a deflection between the Grenadiers as well as... Where's that sniper? A sniper's not fallen back yet, has he? No, he's in the center part of the map, calmly picking off crew members from these AT guns and slowing down the rate of fire by quite a bit. Another round should probably compel these guys to retreat. Ooh, they both target the same guy, that sniper, unfortunately not getting the kill he needs. So Tiga getting pushed back for the time being, but not enough to really put a huge amount of damage into him. Did see in the meantime, though, that relief infantry's been popped, which he's going to see at least one squad of Osttruppen coming on in. And it's still ready to go for another 40 seconds, so I'm wondering if we're going to see Luciano be very aggressive, or whatever the term might be. Foolhardy, maybe? With his troops' lives. But no, it looks like he's just going to back off instead of getting himself some free but warm bodies. Why would he need them anyway? As of right now, the British fortunes aren't that wonderful. Indeed, whenever the Brits seem to come on forward, there goes a mill bomb with some damage being done. But, you know, one model for that? Yeah, not that great.
We're losing a capture point.
All these pushes coming on in. 3 squads of troops against 1. Even with a Bren gun, that's not a great fighting opportunity for the Brits. Of course, I say that, and that's when one of the Osttroopen, poor Osttroopen guys gets picked off. And of course, it's the Eastern Europeans that die first. But if these guys stopped moving, they would just be able to pick off like crazy on these models. To the west, we are going to see a cut-off infantry section with a sniper coming in behind to kind of finish the destruction. Should they be foolish enough to hang out in the wind. Osttroopen, in the meantime, getting carved to pieces, is going to fall back. And with the sniper as well as now the Pack 40 moving on forward to drop rounds into the UKF, they might be able to take out this munitions cache, and there it is. That's one right there. And now the 6-pounders, though, are going to do a good amount of work into this Tiga tank. 2 rounds coming from each one, dropping it, so 4 shots, dropping it below 50% health. I'm surprised it got hurt that badly, that quickly. But the infantry sections for Smiley Face aren't in great shape either. That would be good to see something like, you know, an attack onto this forward assembly area. Though that I imagine that would be a very difficult prospect with the immediate troops on hand for Luciano. Will we see even perhaps though a rifle grenade? Yes, we are. So rifle grenade right here would be great help. But no animation cancel happens instead just before that rips off. Probably a good thing at the end of it all. M6 mine though over here on the western side, this fuel point is now a booby trap. Not that should really concern the Germans too much, as the machine guns got all of the British infantry suppressed at one time. And that's kind of sad when that happens. But an Ostwind is going to be able to be called in by the Wehrmacht, and while the machine gun is pulling back, we are going to see another sniper coming forward on the field. Not able to shoot very well as guys are moving on retreat, which makes me kind of wonder how good of a shot he actually is, that he cannot manage to hit guys running away more than 50% of the time. Maybe he's just a good sport. I don't know. We'll see. But 371 to 256, the British are certainly up against it right now, folks. Not that they really have to be. They could be calling in another Comet tank. Indeed, even in a couple moments, they could call in 2 Comet tanks because of all the fuel that they're floating. And with 2 Comet tanks, 2 6-pounders, and the Royal Engineers, we could be doing a gay old jig right now.
Supply line's been cut.
There's the Ostwind coming back in, though, to cut a bloody path through everything. I really undershot how much those guys cost, didn't I? Yes, I did. 185, not 135. I don't know why I thought 135 for a second. Anyway. Another Comet on the field. So a Comet 2 6-pounders is more than enough to take out the Ostwind for sure. Now, going against the Tiga as well, that should be it'll be an uphill battle, but not a difficult one, you know, per se, or at least not a excessively difficult one. Sniper, in the meantime, going to come under fire by this Bren section, making it away, though not with as much health as he might want, as we're going to see Grenadiers come in from the western side and push back the Brits in turn.
We're losing a capture point.
But still, while... Oh geez, another precision barrage. This squad's dead.
There's a Comet tank ready to go.
Shockingly enough, they make it away in time. That was very surprising. I kind of thought the precision barrage would come in a little bit sooner than that, but no, Luciano's troops make it out alive. And the mine is still there? Is the mine still there? No, the mine is gone. It exploded, I think, by an unfortunate infantry squad. So the M6 mine doing a little bit of work, but not as much damage as might have been helpful. Ostwind, in the meantime, needs to back off right now. He's going to get 3 or 4 shotted. He's going to be 4 shotted by that Comet if he's not careful. And the Tiga tank, in the meantime, pressing the advantage, the lack of armored vehicles over here on the eastern side to really push forward here. Comet Tank is going to shift forward, trying to put fire into these Grenadiers, but the Grenadiers should be able to turn around and just rip off a couple of Fausts into the flank of that Comet. But the Comet does what it does best. It kind of comes and then leaves, and then comes and then leaves. While these Jaegers, these Jaeger wannabes with G43s are putting fire into absolutely everything. This is a rifle grenade if I've ever seen one, though. Call in, my friends, but no, they're going to fall back in the face of all that firepower. Might even go down. It's a fairly vetted up squad as well. Pack 40 though, where's he shooting? Aiming back here for that guy? No, he's not. He is not doing that at all, my friends. T-Gun in the meantime, trying to put rounds into the AT guns, but the AT guns prove just too damaging for him. And could we see a British win coming out after this? After being pressed so difficultly, it's so hard. Could we actually see a British win? I don't know. Looking straight at just the infantry by itself, I'm not too impressed by what the future holds for the good old Union Jack. As now a Stug is being called in as well for Luciano's troops. Okay, so one Sturm Pilot Squad's down there, another one's back here to be able to fix up on the Ostwind. And with the Stug and the Tiga and the Pack 40 and Fausts, I continue to wonder why Smiley Face didn't go and push with his own particular armored presence a little bit sooner than, 25 minutes into the game. Infantry section trying desperately to cap the middle part, but fails utterly. Though in the meantime, this 3-inch mortar emplacement has kept Smiley Face in the game by itself, getting almost 30 kills. Gonna get a 30th one before the game ends, just you wait. Sniper, though, catching up very quickly. He's got 22 kills. He's been on the field a fraction of the amount of time. And there is one 6-pounder down. That is a big loss right there. Still not quite finished just yet, and Comet not quite able to push back the German infantry on its own, especially when the Tiger comes out to play. But that 6-pounder yet again getting hammered. We're going to see gun runs coming on in. That's just vehicles? Enemy units. Okay, good. Alright, though. So we're going to see one 6-pounder getting wrecked pretty hardcore. There we go. He's been decrewed. The other one's getting recrewed because of this lovely forward assembly area. And the Ostwind, the repaired Ostwind, coming on in and looking to go and take out one of its greatest tormentors.
Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
Not sure if it's an enemy trick, I would say. I'd be a little more concerned about just your, life choices here. The other 6-pounder, surprisingly enough, just a shade away. I was going to say, getting a shade away from being decrewed, and there it goes. It has now been decrewed. And there's going to do squad needs to back off right now. Never mind, he goes down, and somehow an explosion acts as a black hole, and all these bodies go towards it instead of away. But the Germans don't look particularly healthy right now, do they? It's not immediately, they don't. But the Smiley Face has no anti-tank presence, because that's a Piat. And it has a single vehicle to fight, and that is Jan Stug. Oh, the Sturmgeschütz can be flanked like crazy. That Tiga is far less flankable. But now, with his troops back in this particular position, 35 kills there, 26 kills in the Sniper. Sniper's got 3 stars of veterancy. Even a bolstered infantry section is not going to do well against all this extra firepower. Quick, run up and pick that up. That's a free gift, my friends. Mortar back over here trying to put fire into the mortar pit. But the mortar pit just has an uncanny accuracy. It fires with so much frequency when it is got his garrison bonus. And unfortunately for the Germans, they did not take advantage of the possibility of picking up a Bren light machine gun. Pioneer, in the meantime, going to try to cap out this middle position, 350 to 250. Exactly 100 tickets ahead, and that lead is just going to grow. And Smiley Face, I think, is not done, per se. I mean, his infantry could get in and around. But when its armored vehicle gets flanked by an assault gun, yowza, what was that? Pack 40 slamming rounds into it. We're going to see a push by this Tiga tank.
Damned enemies tried to
Tiga's
take
got
point from us.
full health. He should be able to kind of just dive on in, throw a couple rounds into this Comet, and that would be all she wrote. It'd be a shooting star that would just explode, my friends. But no, he's not looking to do that. Never mind. Pack 40 has crept on forwards, and this guy continues to get pushed back and pushed back. Let's just drop the angle of this camera a little bit more. What are they guys doing? Okay, they're dropping down another mortar emplacement. Strange decision. But I suppose all he can really do is try to put up a curtain of fire to protect against any push forward. I think this thing, yep, this thing also has garrison because of that forward assembly area. Yikes. Those things are just a surprisingly good range. Precision barrage going to come on in. Tiga's going to charge. Machine gun's going to get plastered, though.
Emplacement under HQ is under attack.
And that Stug is not doing too much better. So cruise shotgun 1. Machine gun goes down. Stug damaged. And this Ostwind and Tiga are trying to sit here and just put fire into absolutely everything.
200 points now.
But they're doing exactly what they need to do. That is, take out this forward assembly area. And this Comet tank is not going to be enough to push back on its own. Yeah, the bastards are quite good. Mortar pit really the only thing that can kind of stop this push by taking out the repairing Sturm Pioneers. And even then, Luciano can just bring in some more. And there's the forward assembly area, which means that these guys are now firing super slowly. The sniper has gone down in the meantime as well, guys. Please forgive me for missing that one. But here's the dive to pick up the Comet, and the Comet makes it out for the moment. But he's rushing in every direction, and that's totally fine for the Germans. Because now all the Germans have to do is just start picking off squads like crazy.
The enemy is trying to overrun our HQ.
And with the Ostwind here putting pressure onto this mortar pit, and this mortar pit getting hit by the Tiga tank, the Comet is forced to come back in, or otherwise the entire British war machine is going to be destroyed in seconds. At 37 minutes in, it is now half the tickets the Germans have. Smiley Face is down 175 to 350. That is going to go down soon enough. Charging on forwards just to take that out. That's one kill right there.
Destroyed by the enemy. HQ is under attack.
And, yep, rounds are going to impact upon that poor, not quite defenseless Ostwind. But the Stug and the Tiga are going to be more than enough, I think, to push this home. You can see right now, just the infantry section is being melted. And, oh my gosh, this thing's that's obnoxious. So Stuka close air support coming on in. Let's get a nice close down shot from this. As the Comet tank gets drilled by the Stukas. And with that, even if all the German armor dies right here, right now, it doesn't happen. Smiley Face does go and decides to kind of call it quits. So the end game score, 350 to 164. And a game that lasted almost 38 minutes exactly. I had thought the Brits were going to come back and do pretty well. They had a fairly vetted up, core group of units. They had this very, very powerful mortar emplacement. But in the end, they just could not push through and cut off this lower southern resource generation for the Germans. Really, in the end as well, the Germans had a much more well-rounded group than the Brits did. So, guys, all of you out there who think that the Brits cannot be beaten, they definitely can. This game is definitely an example of that. And before you say it, there was a little bit of passive play, but all things considered, Luciano played a fairly decent game. But that will be it for me today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you all soon. This is Con Ulrich signing off. You all have a great day. Take it easy.